dive in with what I happened to watch this week. Scream Queen. Oh my God, I'm not going to remember that guy's name.
But there's a guy in it.
Yeah, this guy was the actor in the second Nightmare on Elm Street movie. You would recognize him, though, because he was also in Come Back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy Dean.
Really?
Yes, he was a rising star in the mid to late 80s.
Okay.
And I'm going to look up his name because I'm a bad host and I don't have it in front of me.
Late 80s? Early 80s?
This movie is recent. It's based
okay.
on the actor from the second
Nightmare on Elm Street.
His name is Mark Patton, and he was in Come Back to the Five and Dime. He was Joe pre-sex change operation.
Okay.
Do you remember that? Does that ring a bell?
No.
Okay. Well, you remember the story, Come Back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy Dean.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great play. Robert Altman did the movie. This guy was on the rise. He was going to be a big star. He already had an agent. He basically walked in and they said, oh, yeah, we love your face. We're going to make you a star. And he got cast in the second Nightmare on Elm Street movie, which is Freddy's Revenge.
Okay. Yep.
And that movie was rushed, if you remember, because the first one was such a big success. And he signed on because he knew it was a success and he knew that this would just help his career. Well, it ruined his career. I don't know if you've seen that movie anytime recently or heard anything about it, but there's a lot of homoerotic undertones in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It has now been admitted by the writer that, yes, they were intentional, but for the longest time, he denied it. And this guy happened to be gay, and it ruined his career, basically.
Really?
A lot of well, back then, there was not only just homophobia in the movie industry, but there was AIDS phobia. And this guy also ended up being positive. He is still alive and on the convention circuit now. But so I kind of argue that some of what happened was probably because he was diagnosed with a deadly disease at an age but when people really weren't surviving. So I think that may have had a little bit to do with it as well. But the movie is fascinating. It gets 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. They go into his experience, and basically it is him reuniting with the cast and starting to go to conventions again, and his quest to confront the writer and get the writer to admit that he did all this shit on purpose.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
It is great. And he has had a resurgence. He basically left Hollywood in the late 80s and moved to Mexico. He left the country, and he has been living down there with his partner ever since. But now he is starting to come back, and he's on the convention circuit. But what's so cool is that some of this footage was a few years back. Like, I think Clu Gulager is dead now, but he wasn't when this was filmed. But if you'll look at that one picture of the cast behind me, it's kind of hard to see their faces, but Robert Englund's in there, as are the other stars from the second movie, including the gym teacher and his best friend and the female love interest and all. So, who looked a lot like Meryl Streep, by the way. So anyway, it's a documentary. If you're a Nightmare on Elm Street fan, I highly recommend it. You will remember his face as soon as you see him.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure I will.
So that is what I have been doing. Sorry for the delay and that I didn't remember Mark's name. Damn it.
You can't start the car. Johnny has the keys.